but all of a sudden I hit like a 3-foot deep like snowdrift, and I'm trying to like claw my way through it on a Prius, which is not really a good way to do things.
No.
And I had this moment where I was just realizing, like, I could get stuck out here. Like, it is legitimately possible that my car is going to get stuck in this snowdrift. I can't get cell phone reception out here. And, this is actually kind of risky. Like, I could actually be in mild danger here.
Yeah.
But at least even that, though, was still pretty minor. Like, I was driving, it took like 2 hours to get home, and it was normally an hour-long drive. Because I had to be so careful and, like, drive around stuff. I had to drive out into one of the fields at one point just to get around, like, a huge drift. But, I mean, I don't know. I suppose yours is, like, more terrifying in some ways just because it kind of pops out so unexpectedly.
Yeah, it definitely caught me off guard. I
Yeah,
wasn't
I
paying
imagine
enough
so.
attention to have stopped or swerved out of the way. I couldn't have swerved out of the way because it fell across the road.
Yeah.
So that wasn't an option, but...
When you were basically stuck with either stopping or doing nothing. I'm just glad, considering the size of it, I'm glad it didn't actually it hopefully didn't damage your car, and at least didn't damage you.
Well, I checked. I jumped, like, I just... Boom, boom, just both times.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Probably
oh,
jumped pretty good
God,
over it.
this had to have fucked my car up. And from so far, I can't see anything, so maybe it's okay.
Fingers crossed for you. Jesus.
Anyways, that's over and done, so I'll worry about it tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad of
if something
that,
happens.
but... Yeah. All the same, though, that's a lot to deal with all of a sudden.
Of course, I bought those new headlights, too, and that was $60. But, at least they're pretty good. I mean, they didn't help me see that fucking tree any quicker, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure they probably would have under most circumstances, right?
Getting them in was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have to take the bumper off, but nope, you can just reach in there and pop the old ones out.
Huh.
Way easier than the YouTube videos were showing. I think my car must be like a slightly different model or make than the other Mustangs they were doing.
That seems possible.
Anyways, okay, 9 o'clock. I can go buy seeds, and now we can reap the benefits of a harvest, literally. Hello, Pierre. So we want to do pumpkins. I'll get 10 pumpkins. We've already done corn.
Yeah, I believe so.
We'll do eggplants.
Well, hold on a second. The ones we need for this season are going to be pumpkins or corn. Are going to be. We have to get at least 5 gold of one of those. Either one, really. And otherwise, we need yams, pumpkins, eggplants, and corn. We need at least one of each.
Fairy seeds. Flower. Oh, they're for flowers. Okay. I think I'm buying too many seeds. I don't think we have... Oh well. I don't think I have enough land tilled over for all the seeds that I bought, but that's okay.
We'll also have to water the land ourselves this first day, since the land obviously tilled itself.
Yeah, it does that. That crazy, crazy land.
By the way, I saw a video online of somebody showing how to get to the bottom of the skull mine, which shouldn't be possible. There should not be a bottom, but, there's a theoretical bottom just because you can't have something that's actually infinite.
Okay.
But you had to cheat really heavily to do it, because the bottom level is level, like, 2 billion something something something.
Damn.
Yeah, it's the point where the amount of digits that the game can count runs out.
Cheater.
Oh, hey, I need you to actually, you have an axe, right? So I
No,
don't have my
don't.
axe with me.
I'm getting the gold one, remember?
Okay.
It might
I'll
actually
go
be
get
done
mine
now,
then.
but I have no idea.
I'll go get my cheapo axe then. Also, my house is starting to look terrifying.
Why?
My decorating scheme is questionable.
That's
Well, you had a more
crazy.
exciting day than me. I played D&D for quite a while with some friends online, which was actually pretty fun. It worked out better than last time, and I watched a bunch of The Office while playing games.
Oh, you're getting into
'Cause
the office, huh?
I decided to give it a try since I had nothing else to do at the time. And it is horrifically awkward to watch. Like, it's good, but goddamn, some of the jokes are just so cringy.
Yep, it's really bad. Michael Scott is a deplorable character, as much as he is lovable.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's part of and that's part of why he's so horrible and so great at the same time is he's not like authentically trying to be an asshole. He's trying to be a good person, but he's just really bad at it. Although I do recall seeing just like a meme based on this at some point, talking about like one of my favorite lines where he's talking about like role playing in the bedroom, and then basically says that he's the one being put in the schoolgirl outfit. A good line. I also found a music video that I'm not sure obsessed is the right word, but I got really into finding all the other ones. It's some guy who's been doing like one of these a year, and he's animating songs that are kind of like based on a comic book, I guess somebody did.
Okay.
I don't know, it's kind of like a Scooby-Doo sort of thing. It's very clearly aping Scooby-Doo in a lot of the style and other stuff, but I don't know, the first song especially really caught my attention and just has been stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And in general, I don't know, I really like the thing.
Okay. Well, you could.
I'll send it to
me,
you
I
at some
guess.
point. Yeah, you might get a kick out of the song.
Cranberry seeds. Yes.
Also, I'm going to suggest we don't actually, like, clear-cut the area this time around. Let some stuff regrow.
What are you saying?
I'm suggesting that this time you don't clear-cut the entire area and let some stuff
Are
regrow.
you implying something?
I am implying that we should not clear-cut the area and maybe let some stuff regrow.
Okay, that seems fair.
Not following you. In fact, if you want to grab a few grass seeds at some point from the store, I can go grab a few. Well, probably not today.
You're not gonna make it. I can't believe I still didn't buy enough seeds. Oh my god, I'm still
You can get
short.
more tomorrow.
That's nuts.
Well, I mean, we should. There's at least one of those golden crops, pumpkins or corn. We're gonna need to get like shit tons of it just to ensure we get a gold one or enough gold ones.
Well, we've got plenty of corn and pumpkins growing, just
All right.
not maturing yet. Man, I can't believe I didn't get enough seeds. I spent $14,000 on seeds today, and I still didn't get enough. Or gold, I guess, not dollars.
Well, eventually you'll be able. God, I cannot fucking talk. You're going to get the ability to make a seed machine at some point, which you'll be able to take
I think I can already
crops.
do that.
Really? In that case, we don't need to buy them anymore. In most cases, the seed machine, you can take crops that you've grown and turn them into multiple seeds.
Well, this should be the last time I have to water them by hand like this, at least.
Yep.
Yeah, I still need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I still need 24 of a certain seed if I want to fill out the this last run in the garden. And I do.
Well, we don't have any in storage, do we?
I didn't check. I bet I can almost guarantee you we don't, but I could be wrong.
I was just thinking we might have. We used to get those like fall seed bundles and stuff like that, like 30 seeds and things. So we might have one.
Oh yeah, I'll go look in a second. I don't know what I did. I fucked my neck up or something. It has been hurting me all day to where if I turn it, if I lean back or look up or look down, it just hurts like hell.
This happened before or after your crash, or not crash?
No,
but
no,
like
it's just like this morning.
All right.
but
Any
I,
particular direction?
No, it's mostly when I bend it forward or backwards. And
Okay,
so
so
I've been.
is the spot? I'm sorry. I'll keep. Don't really mean to keep interrupting, but go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, like I've probably taken like 4 regular, just standard, brand name painkillers, and I took like 3 Aleve earlier. So I'm hoping I don't. I hope I didn't take too much of anything.
No, you should be fine. If you took within that range, again, this is not my area necessarily, but my understanding is that that's well within the tolerances where your body should be able to take it. Just as long as you're not doing it like regularly.
Well, they were all about 2 hours apart.
Yeah, you're fine, I'm betting.
You're probably fine. You'd probably be okay.
Let me put it this way. I'd put money on your survival.
He's dead.
God damn it, Ambrose. Bad enough you're dead, yet it cost me money too.
You made me look bad. While dying.
They're slowly dying. Like, didn't you ever think how this affects me? This is the worst kind of discrimination. The kind against me.
That sounds like that's from something.
Ah, Bender.
Oh. Ah, yes. Bender Rodriguez.
Bending Rodriguez of Bending State. I'm going to take 300 wood tomorrow and head down to go make that bridge in the beach.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I had two.
Need to drop off.
Also got a bunch of foraging stuff to turn in.
Oh, there is 2 wheat seeds here I could have put down. I guess I could do that real quick. Just for the hell of it. Nope.
Oh, can you make lightning rods? They look like sort of a weird sex toy kind of thing.
Yeah, I need 5 bat wings, though.
We have shit tons of bat wings. But we should make at least 1 or 2 lightning rods, just because they produce batteries when there's thunder, because that makes sense.
Iron bar, refined quartz.
Yeah, we should have at least 1 just so we can start making batteries, though.
Refined quartz, refined quartz, refined quartz. We have none. Damn it, that's not going to do. Well, I can make them tomorrow.
Alright, that's fine. We don't have any refined quartz, really?
No, I think I used it all when I was making the sprinklers.
Oh, by the way, check my house out before you head back to yours.
Bear statues. Huh, yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Listen, technically I know what a hoarder is, so I can't be a hoarder.
Is that the logic?
Well, that's my logic.
Okay. Alright. Bedtime. Oh, we didn't make much money today. Well, no.
No, we've been busy. Actually, that is not bad.
For doing almost nothing.
I had a bunch of fish and stuff saved up, so that probably helped a little. I don't know why we sold 2 wood. That seems like a strange thing for us to do.
I didn't do it.
I think that was me, actually. I have no excuse. Oh, hey, one of our taps up there just produced something.
Okay, I'm gonna take care of the chickens real quick.
Alright, I'm just gonna cycle the quartz, grab that thing up there, and then I'll come down and etc, etc. I also petted the cat.
Oh, thanks.
Also, if we can save like 45,000 gold, we can do, whatchamacallit, the bus. Hey, by the way, our cows are milkable.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I ever even got the watering pail, did I? I think I...
You
yeah,
did,
I did,
actually.
I put it somewhere.
Yeah, I can check for it a
Yeah,
little later
it is,
today.
right here. Did you get that refined quartz out?
Yep, I did, and I put another round in.
Where'd you put the refined quartz out? In the chest?
Oh,
Or...
I'm still holding on to it. Sorry, I'll put it in there in just a sec.
Get this lightning rod real quick and get rid of it. Wait, do I need all? I think I need 5. Okay.
Yep, 5 more just finished.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
grab
no, I
the
need
milk when I
bat
come
wing.
back.
Duh, idiot.
Batwing is in the green chest.
Does it matter where I put this thing?
Not really. Just someplace we can kind of see it. It doesn't have to be in the... It's not one we're gonna have to go to, like, almost at all.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if this game has a Halloween event. Yo ho, I got an anchor.
Do we need to buy 5 milk pails?
No, just one.
Allow pregnancy, sell, change home building. Hello, can I milk you, please?
You have to select the milk pail, then use it like you were trying to use the item on the... Like...
I was right-clicking on them.
Also, I've just opened up the second half of the beach.
Okay, cool.
Apparently there's also still stuff in this game I've never seen, as when I was watching the video on it, there were areas I had not discovered yet.
You learn something every day.
Yeah, apparently you can sacrifice a child in this if you want to. I'm not actually sure if that's true or not, but it really looked like that's what he was doing in the video.
Well, that suggests something a little more dark.
Well, you can also marry people and apparently divorce them too, so I don't really know what to expect.
I'm head to the blacksmith and see if I can get my axe back. I have no idea how many days it's been, but...
Worth trying. Okay, if we get a cockle shell, that's the one we need. I haven't seen one lately.
Oh, get the fuck out of the way. I was like, why can't I leave Pierre's? Oh, because there's someone else standing in the doorway coming in, and it's me or them.
Okay, we apparently just need to harvest or forage a wild plum, then we're all set for this season's foraging.
Ah, I actually did that earlier and sold it.
You goddamn monster.
It was right next to the mine cart.
You are history's greatest monster.
I didn't know. I'll keep my eye out for another one, though. I'm sure they'll pop up.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find some. The foraging bundles are just a really easy one to do in general.
Okay. Well, Nebraska won their first football game of the year, finally. Sure, people are ecstatic.
I really wasn't following it, but I get the impression that something really bad was happening, given the odds I was hearing vaguely among the inmates.
Yeah, I mean, they were 0-6 for the first time in school history.
Jesus.
And Nebraska's normally a pretty damn good football program.
I'm assuming there were a number of suicides, if that was the case. Like, I'm not even sure I'm joking there. Like, that legitimately probably would raise the general suicide rate in the state.
Well, it's kind of funny because their coach is a new coach. It's his first year there. He left a smaller school in Florida. He was coach of the University of Central Florida, and they went undefeated last year. And you know that was a pretty big thing for them because little school in Florida. And of course, he got a big offer to go coach at Nebraska after that, and that's his alma mater. So he's like, he ditched the little school that he was coaching and went undefeated in, and went to the bigger school, and of course couldn't win a damn game.
Yeah, that's really bad. Also, I just got a plum, so we're all set.
Oh, okay, good. Alright, well, I got 17 bait. I'm going to put these pumpkin seeds here. I got my axe back, by the way.
Nice.
It's golden.
Can't have me go relax.
Okay, so we've got an automatic garden going. We've got cows. We've got chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is...
Hey, I just got
perfect.
30 fall seeds.
Ooh, I wonder what those are for. Like, I wonder what they would grow, I mean.
I think it's just assorted fall crops that can be almost anything, I think.
Well, we don't have room to really put them out, but I mean, unless we hoe a
Yeah,
new area.
well, it might save us some money later on when we have some free space.
Once I harvest some of the stuff that's
Yeah,
already out.
exactly. Exactly.
Elementary, my dear boy.
You know, Sherlock Holmes is one of those like story things I've actually listened. As a kid, I was really into it. I just kept listening for a long time, so I've heard a bunch of different versions. It is really interesting to see like the different sort of setups that people have come up with for like Watson and Holmes. Especially the weird breakdown between the ones where they actually play John Watson as being like a pretty competent and like tough character, and the ones where he's just like the stupidest man alive.
I mean, he is a detective. He's not like...
Well, no, John Watson was a surgeon.
Was that his
He
backstory?
was, well, yeah, he was Dr. Watson. The backstory. Well, I'll save you the backstory unless you're actually interested. But
I don't care.
yeah, I mean, he was an army doctor in what was it? There was one of the British wars. He took a elephant gun bullet to the shoulder. Got basically flighted back to England to recover, living kind of a pointless existence, and met Holmes through a friend when he was looking for cheap rooms, basically.
Oh.
And they went like months without actually even really talking to each other until finally Holmes had a case where he actually kind of needed a doctor to help him out on something, and he just happened to invite Watson along, and they kind of got along. And I mean, in the original books, Holmes is really a complete asshole to him for quite a while because he just is an asshole to everybody. He's brilliant, strange, and I think it was only later in the series where they ever actually established him as being like a well-known detective. In the first few, he's really just a fringe element, working very grudgingly with the police on stuff.
Well, as can be the case with most smart people, sometimes they're also very, kind of hard to get along with.
True. I am a complete asshole to most folks I meet. I think it's the problem, though. I'm not smart enough to be really mean. I mean, they play Holmes off as being essentially autistic.
Oh.
I mean, in terms of like his interests, his weird habits. Like one of the ones they make a big deal out of in the first book is the fact that Holmes doesn't know that the Earth revolves around the sun. And when Watson was telling him like, how the fuck do you not know that? Like everybody knows that. Holmes's response is basically like, what use is that to me to know that? Like, it's interesting maybe, but it's of no practical use in anything I care about. So it's just a waste of time to remember it.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny that both Benedict Cumberbatch, or whatever the hell his name is, and Robert Downey Jr. have both played Sherlock Holmes, and they're both Avengers.
Oh yeah. Have you seen either one of their versions?
No, I've never watched any of them.
Well, if you have any interest at some point, like the Benedict Cumberbatch version, I'll say this much for it. The later episodes are fucking insanity. Like, I'm not sure they're any good. The first season is really actually excellent. Especially since what they basically did is they made Holmes into a modern character, like it is a modern day interpretation, but they went back and they took all the old stories and they kind of twisted some of the elements around, so it's all the same plots, but they've made some really clever sort of modern renditions of them.
That's the Benedict Cumberbatch one.
Yeah. And at least like the first season I will absolutely attest to. I really enjoyed it. The later seasons I've heard enough about to make me honestly worry about them, as it sounds like they kind of hit a point where they wanted to keep upping the ante. Because, I mean, in the books, his main antagonist was this guy called Professor Moriarty, which was basically a brilliant intellectual that was selling his brains to the criminal, elements of London. Like, he didn't do anything himself, but if you paid him shit tons of money, he would tell you exactly how to get away with whatever you wanted.
Hmm.
And in the Benedict Cumberbatch version, they kill him off fairly early, which actually happened in the books too. I mean, he tried to stop writing about Holmes pretty early on in his career, then realized, oh shit, no one wants to read anything else I'm writing. Back to Holmes. Like I'm dead serious. He wrote an entire book about like killing off Holmes and like I'm tired of this. Everybody thinks I only write mystery novels. I want to go back to writing serious adventure stories and stuff. Then very quickly realized like, oh holy fuck, no one is paying for my other stuff. I need to start writing about Holmes again immediately.
That kind of sucks.
It does. I mean, he still is well known for having done other stuff, but it is kind of tragic how he just basically he didn't stick to it. I mean, his other stuff is just isn't that amazing, honestly. And Holmes was like literally probably one of the best characters he'd ever come up with. So
Right.
it is sad, but but yeah, I mean, they killed off. He had an entire thing about how Holmes died fighting Professor Moriarty in like the Reichenbach Falls, and the two of them like hurtling down and smashing on the rocks. And then later on, wrote like a second story, like a few years later, of like, oh no 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 no, you didn't see them die. Holmes climbed back up, and he was fine, and he lived out, in different countries for a few years and hunted people. And, I mean, he just, after that point, was like, okay, well, I'm just going to skip around the timeline, talk about any story I think is interesting, stuff like that. Whereas the TV show felt they had to keep upping the ante.
Right. And I'd like to give my cows a special treat. Could you bring me one bunch of amaranth? They love this stuff. Marnie.
Amaranth.
Quick, pet the chickens before they all run away. A new baby duckling hatched. Choose a name.
Oh, nice. We're getting cheap ducks.
I'll just call him Donald. Whatever. How original.
The game actually tells you, like, really? Donald? Alright. Guess we're just not trying today, huh? Also, we have to keep putting out feed for them right now, as we don't have any grass around yet. Actually, I'm going to see if I can go buy some grass seed today and start planting some big fields of grass in the distance.
It's Wednesday.
Fuck me. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Nope. I'm. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate it. But god damn it, Pierre. It's enough to make you go to JoJo Mart.
I think there's like 2 patches of... There's like, out of the perfect rectangular garden, there's like 2 places. There's one right here that has nothing, and I think there's one right here that has nothing.
Yeah, looks like it.
It annoys
You could go
me.
grab some of those fall seeds if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll grab 2 of them.
But be sure to water those 2 spots since they're not watered right now. And I gotta say, the garden looks nice.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
you
just
went
love how
well.
it's automated with the watering. God, that saves so much time and effort.
Oh yeah. Again, a lot of this game is like the automated stuff. Yeah, we're still doing pretty good in the hay. We're a little over half.
Oh wait, can you not milk the cows every day?
No, you can. You should be able to, at least.
Oh, there we go. I was just at the wrong angle, I guess.
Yeah, milking the cows can be a little bit, like, temperamental. I don't know how to describe it. They're not... I find it a little annoying trying to, like, hit the mark every single time. You reach for that teat and you just sometimes don't get it. Actually, come to think of it, have you ever actually milked a cow?
Yeah, but it was like 15 years ago. And it was actually on a field trip.
Really?
Yeah, we went to like this place. I think it was like some sort of like zoo place. And they were like, "Who wants to milk a cow?" And everybody was just like, "Me, me, me." We were all like, 10 years old.
Like I sent you that video of the black guy talking about how when he was a kid, his school took him to a field trip to a cotton field. And that all the kids picked cotton.
Sounds awful.
Well, he the funny thing is he describes it like, we were all having a great time. We were not old enough or to understand the really racist overtones that were happening there. And describing like when he came home with like a handful of like unprocessed cotton in his pants because they wouldn't let him actually like bring the cotton home. They had to turn it in at the end of the day, so they didn't even get anything from it. And he described like when his mom found out that they had taken them all out like picking cotton and had basically gone into the school and just fucking crucified their teacher for it. Oh man, that's like my favorite videos on YouTube. Guy can definitely tell a story. That is weird though, because I always found it interesting to see where school like field trips went to, because as a kid you kind of assume like everybody does the same thing, but it really isn't. Like I'm betting you never went to a field trip to a salt marsh, right?
No.
Okay, I did 3 of them in my school.
Salt.
Salt marsh, yeah. I'm betting you may not even have them in your area, but like right where I grew up, there's a few really big salt marshes in the area, and they're kind of cool. Honestly, they're kind of fun to wander around as long as you kind of know where to step. And they're really, honestly, kind of beautiful. But it's a strange place. But I mean, it's just kind of like, okay, well, we want to be able to show the kids some nature, an interesting environment, and where is someplace close enough we can get there in like 20 minutes. So for us, it was a salt marsh. Or some of the other ones I can think of, we went to a maple farm where they had like a bunch of maple trees they would use for maple syrup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we walked around showing the tree taps. There was an apple farm we did twice, I think.
We had one of those, Jackson's Orchard. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
They had all kinds of like apple cider, candy apples, caramel apples, apple crisps.
Oh, apple crisp is so fucking good.
Yeah, they had and in the autumn they would always have, like a pumpkin patch and like a hayride and hay maze, corn maze, all that crap. It was neat.
So what other kind of places did you like field trips to?
We would always go to this like Horse Cave Theater and see plays. Like I think I saw Macbeth and
Horse Cave Theater.
Yeah, Horse Cave. It's the name of the place.
Okay,
it's the name of the community.
All right, that makes a little more sense. I was trying to think of like that's just a type of cave or something, but no, horse. I guess if it's a name, that makes more sense.
I mean, well, twice we went to Mammoth Cave.
I've heard of that one. I think
Mammoth Cave, I think, is one of the largest underground. I think it may be the largest underground cave system in the United States, and it's literally within like 30 minutes of where I live.
Really?
And they've got it is really cool getting to go through that on a field trip because.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
There's some areas where there's just enough light where you can like see the stalactites and everything, and they're like glistening and dripping water. It's really cool.
Huh. That does sound pretty badass.
Yeah. I remember those field trips. It was they would always like find a random place to stop, and like we would always get like little ham and cheese sandwiches and like a chocolate chip cookie and a bag of chips for our lunch that the school would give us.
Yeah.
Nothing special. Like, it wasn't until high school that we even got to like stop at like other like actual places, like a Wendy's or a McDonald's or something to get food. We would have these days where Krispy Kreme would come to the school, and
what?
Yeah, it only happened like once or twice a year. But if you could buy, like, they would just go from classroom to classroom, and you could buy a dozen donuts for like, I think it was like just like $2 or something, or you could buy like every donut was just like a nickel. Like you could just get like a donut for a nickel.
God damn.
Or something like that. I think is it a nickel or 15 cents or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, those were weird days. And then there were other days where we would have like a movie day. And now that I think back to it, I don't know how sanitary this was, but the
It's always a good start.
The teachers would pop this absurd amount of popcorn, and every kid would get like a big paper towel on their desk, and they would just go around and give you and give you like a big helping of popcorn for the movie. But the popcorn would be in like a big fucking black trash bag. Which, now that I think about it, I don't know like how I feel about that. Because it was in a big black trash bag. Like, they popped it up in mass and had nothing else to put it in. And it was always just
Well,
this
yeah, I
big
mean,
fucking trash bag.
if it's a new trash bag, it's probably fine, right? I mean,
Well,
those things are.
that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only potential risk there is if if it's not meant for food, it might not be made to like food standards. There might be coating on
It'd
it or
be like one of
something.
those, like, fucking, like, lavender-scented Glad trash bags. Oh,
I'm
that'd be
just saying. I
awful.
mean, if every kid in your grade gets to like the age of 50 and you grow an extra finger, maybe we'll know at that point something is wrong with it.
I don't know. Schools are weird down here, I guess. Like, like, when you went to the cafeteria to get your food,
Yeah.
did you, like, go through, like, the process was we would, pick one of the lines, because there's usually, like, 2 or 3 lines to pick from, because all of them have something different. And the first thing you do was you would get your tray, which is, just your generic, like, little food tray.
Yeah, like plastic tray.
Yeah. And you would either pick, like, we only ever had 3 things to pick from. Maybe 4 if a miracle happened, to drink. And it was always chocolate milk, regular milk, or orange juice. And if you were lucky, some days they would have strawberry milk, but they didn't have it very often.
Hmm.
And they were always in cartons after, like, my 5th grade, but before that, all of our milk was always in these little square plastic baggies. I hated it.
Wait, like, okay, explain to me just quick. When you're talking like a plastic bag, I've seen bagged milk before, but that's in like bulk. This is like a bag of milk,
It's like a perfect square, like 4 inches by 4 inches,
okay. This
rounded
isn't like a
in
Capri Sun kind of thing. How do you open it?
you don't open it. We get
You
like
just
these
stare
little
at it
we get like
longingly.
these little straws, like these
Oh,
little
is
bitty
it,
straws with like pointed tips on them, and you just stab
okay,
it.
so it's a Capri Sun kind of thing where you're just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
jabbing it in.
but you don't hold it upright. It's literally like it's shaped like a hamburger almost. I'm not even kidding you.
What
That's
the
what it
fuck?
was like.
That...
Yeah.
Okay, that's really weird.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like, you would just have to stab it and then just drink out of it. Like, we didn't have those upwards of middle school. I think those were on the way out, but...
I think that was an experiment. That was a fucking candid camera prank on you. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so was your experience with lunch basically the same up through high school? Because in my case, it changed like drastically 3 times.
Oh, I mean, in high school, it was way better. There was like 4 lines. One line always had hamburgers and french fries and stuff every
Yeah,
day.
they knew their audience.
Yeah, and like we had like a slushy machine, and the slushies were only like
pretty
$1.
cool.
Yeah, that was only there for freshman year, and I think me and Seth were the only ones who ever got anything out of it because they got rid of it.
Huh.
It was good though.
Yeah.
It was annoying. What annoyed me though was it was like every fucking year. It was always, no matter what it was. It could be lasagna. It could have been spaghetti day. It could have been country fried steak. What do you have to pick from to drink? Orange juice or milk? If you
Well,
want,
I mean,
you
they may
want
have
water
been...
here? $1.25 for a 20-ounce Dasani.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's bullshit. 'Cause at
Yeah,
least
you
it's,
had
like,
to
free
pay
water.
like $1 for a bottle of water.
But they had like water fountains, didn't they? You just
Yeah,
couldn't
but
like go out and get them, I
I
guess.
wasn't gonna get up and walk to the water fountain every time I wanted to drink at lunch. Come on.
I don't know. I was cheap enough. I probably would have.
You were cheap.
I was. I still am to some degree.
You just bought like a $1,500 laptop.
Well, yeah, but that's
You
the
have
thing. Like, I'm
no
cheap
room
in
to talk
weird
about.
areas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm sitting. Okay, I buy a $1,500 laptop, and I'm now getting like cheese for my tacos. I'm like, I don't know. I'll go store brand.
No, I'd be like, $1,500 laptop. 2-day shipping for an extra $3? No way.
I drink a lot of milk through like cereal and other stuff. I still buy like the weird like off-brand milk in the store that's like $1 per gallon less.
Do you drink whole milk or do you drink like 2%?
No, my family grew up on skim.
Ew,
So,
that's
yeah, I know.
disgusting.
No, listen, like whole milk, I couldn't fucking drink it. It tastes weird to me, but it's amazing in smoothies.
Of
Taylor,
course it
it's
is.
like
It's not
too rich.
watered down. That's all skim milk is. It's just milk with water added.
Listen, it's basically, well, listen, I know it's bad. I'm just saying, like, I'm used to it, so it's one of those things where I don't see a reason to change necessarily.
Well, another thing you're gonna have to like accommodate me for if I ever like come to hang out and be like, oh well, here's your fucking milk.
I already do that. When Wolf visited last time, I got like an entire thing of like 2%, and like I've had whole milk here too, which is kind of funny since Wolf ended up not really using much of it. So I was kind of sitting like, what the hell do I do with all this stuff? And I eventually just began like using it for smoothies, and I had to send a list like, holy fuck, this makes smoothies taste amazing.
Whole milk is amazing. It's fat. It's way more fattening, but
Oh yeah, I mean like, I think on some level I probably avoided a little bit for that, but you know, doesn't make that big a difference.
or does it?
Well, I mean like, well,
It
I mean I
probably
run
doesn't.
with a, it's not exactly a tight calorie budget, but I tend to hit my thing. Well, let me see here. Yeah, I've only got like 20 spare calories today at the moment. But then again, I did eat like a lot more than usual.
Well, it's Saturday. You probably didn't work as you probably didn't like get as many steps in either.
I did 2 hours at the gym. I had my steps.